Hello everyone, welcome to Run My Arts watercolor series, and as you all just saw the preview, I'm going to show you how to paint 3 colorful radishes in a very freestyle manner. So I'll be using the pointy mop style brush from Da Vinci. So if you're using a regular round style watercolor brush, then you can choose to use between size 6 to 8 because this is a small size painting which is on an A5 size watercolor paper. So the first color that I'm using is a permanent carmine, which is similar to a crimson. And I'm painting this using the wet on dry technique. So basically I'm applying wet paint on a dry surface of the paper. And there is no pre-sketches of the radishes that I'm going to paint. This is a very freestyle manner, as I mentioned earlier. So if you remember, the pink or reddish colored radish are normally in a form of uneven round or sphere. So I'm just trying to imitate that shape with the wet brush. And while the paint is still wet, I'm just dropping in a little bit of cadmium red to add some extra vibrancy into the painting. So while the painting is still wet, I am using my wet clean rigger brush, which has a very narrow tip, and just trying to pull down the wet paint further from the main radish into a form of root. So in order to achieve this effect effortlessly, you'll have to use a wet paint brush, clean wet paint brush, which has a very narrow tip like this rigger brush or a script brush. Pull the paint further because the wetness in that brush which has touched the paper will help to bleed the paint further. And for extra mini roots, minor roots, I am using a fruit cocktail stick to scratch on the wet paint. And this scratch technique will help you to achieve those minor lines, fine lines as in roots. For the second radish, I am using Indian yellow. You can use any yellow paint of your choice. I thought Indian yellow is quite dark and it makes a good pairing with the permanent carmine next to it. So same technique, wet paint on a dry surface, just trying to imitate the shape of a yellow colored radish which is slightly uneven compared to the red one. And I'm also dropping in a little bit of the cadmium red as well as burnt sienna to make the radish character look more interesting, because usually a natural or organic object do not appear very uniform in color. And once again I'm back with the clean wet rigger brush and helping to bleed the paint further down in a form of roots, similar to what I did with the first radish, followed by the scratching technique using the fruit cocktail stick. Alternatively, you can use other sharp objects as well, as in toothpick or even the back of your watercolor brush. Now for the third radish, I am going to pre-wet the painting area first before I drop in the color. So I have decided to paint this radish in a long form, similar to a small carrot. So I'm wetting it with a clean wet brush, and after wetting it in my preferred form, I'm going to drop in a little bit of olive green yellowish paint onto the top of the pre-wet area as well as the bottom to imitate a pale colored or off-white colored radish with some light green stains. And I have also pre-wet the root line with the same wet rigger brush before I drop in a little bit of the same green paint onto those wet narrow line. And once again back with the scratching technique. Alright, done with the radish bulbs. I'm painting the stalks or the stem of the radishes using the same yellowish olive green paint. just using the tip of my mop style brush, just casually painting the stems. And as for the leaves on the stems, I'm using a darker green shade. You can use a permanent green, anything darker than the stem, to make a contrast, and the painting would definitely look more vibrant. So I just did some minor observation on the different leaf shapes of the different radish. So you might want to make some variation in your painting shapes. So I've decided to give some color on the foreground of this painting, and I thought of creating an impression of ground or soil below the radish bulbs. So I am using a mixture of sapphire and burnt sienna to arrive at this color, and I'm just painting them using the wet on dry technique. So I have not pre-wet the paper surface, I'm just applying the wet paint onto the dry painting surface. And just be mindful with your brush strokes not to overlap on the main root of the radish bulb. It's okay if you overlap the minor ones, you can still come back and create more of the scratch effects. And to add more character to the soil color, I've added a little bit of a deep blue paint, as in sapphire blue. You can use your ultramarine blue into the brown mix that you had earlier. Just painting that over casually, as well as being very careful with my brush strokes. A little bit of water spray effect to wet the applied paint, as well as create some minor water droplets onto the wet paint. And now I'm back with the stick to create the scratch effect once again. A little bit of paint spatters here and there. I'm using the same deep brown paint mix, as well as a little bit of carmine to create a little bit of contrast, and a little bit of water spritz onto the paint spatters. That will create some minor unique effect as well. So do experiment with it. At the end of the day, this is a very freestyle manner, and I'm also using the toothpick just to scribble over the paint spatters that are made. As I said, experiment it for yourself. Just a quick mention on my recent tutorial on how to paint this chunky looking broccoli. I've actually used a sponge technique to simplify the painting process, so do check it out if you have missed it. The video link is in the description. Alright, since the painting is completely dry, I'll have to make some fine-tuned details, and I'm back with the same permanent carmine, and I'm using a smaller size brush, which is the rigger brush, and just painting some minor details onto the red radish. And I'm painting this using the wet on dry technique, so it's wet paint on dry surface of the painting. So basically this step is to fine tune the shape of the subject, which is the radish, by focusing on some tonal values where you focus on the dark and light areas, as well as some marks or stains on the subject. So after applying the wet paint, I am also using a clean damp brush to soften all those hard edges. So if you do not prefer to see all those hard edges or hard lines on your painting, just use a clean damp brush to soften all those edges, and it will help you to achieve a softer appearance. I've shown this technique in most of my watercolor tutorials, and if you have been following my videos for quite some time, you will definitely get the idea of softening the hard edges. Some retouches on the root areas using the same paint mix and rigger brush. And as for the third radish, I've decided to use some yellow ochre as the fine-tune details. Since the green paint has stained the radish color enough, so I thought to balance up the look of this radish, a yellow ochre would do the trick. And after applying the wet paint, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just softening the look of the paint that I applied using a clean damp brush, and it has immediately softened the appearance of the yellow ochre. And I'm continuing to stain the radish with the same yellow ochre in a form of lines as well onto its roots as well as the bulb. Alright, time to fine-tune the leaves and stem, and I'm using the same permanent green with a hint of sapphire so that it appears much more darker than the earlier dark green shade. And I'm using the same rigger brush to just paint it casually in some random shapes, just to create an impression of folded leaves and shadows. As I said, this step is to focus on tonal values so that the painting doesn't appear flat. So just repeat the same painting process onto the other stems and leaves as well. Extending a little bit of that dark green shade onto the off-white colored radish. Now for some final touches, I am using white gouache paint to create some popping highlights. And in order to be able to apply the white gouache paint effectively so that the highlights appear sharper and not washed out, you will have to apply the white gouache in a paste-like consistency, which means you should reduce the amount of water, because water would dilute the paint too much and it would dry off quickly and would not appear as strong as you would want it to. So a quick trick, if you think your white gouache or any gouache paint mix is too wet, just try to absorb the excess from the brush bristle onto the paper towel, and with that the excess water will no longer be on the brush and enables you to just brush off that paint onto the painting surface, and you will achieve a stronger appearance of the white gouache. This is similar to a dry brush technique where there is more paint compared to water in your brush. So I have also extended the white gouache paint onto the roots of the radish bulbs using a scrape brush. A little bit of that highlight effect onto the leaves as well. finishing it off with some paint spatters as well. And with this, the painting is complete. And if you would have noticed, I only attempted this using 2 layers. So usually watercolor painting is done up to 3 layers, but this one has been complete by applying only 2 layers of paint. So color choice makes a difference as well. The more vibrant the paint, the lesser layers you will have to paint. If you like this tutorial, then do hit the like and share button, as well as subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out my other tutorials as well. So see you in another exciting tutorial. Bye.